Hey guys, it's Katie. Welcome back to my channel. I am so glad that you're here, and I know I say this in almost every single video that I'm so excited, so ready to get going and just read the books that I have planned for the video, but to say I'm excited for this video would be an absolute understatement. I'm also a little nervous, but let's not get into that. As you can tell by the title, we are doing a blind date with a book. Now, this is a little bit different than probably what most people do. I got this as a gift from my friend Brooke, so these are all perfectly crafted by her. And when I say crafted, I mean she wrapped them, she decorated them, she chose the books, all of those sorts of things. She didn't just like pick up a blind date with a book and then like just give it to me. So I'm just so excited, but also nervous to see what she chose for me. And I have had these sitting in my house just staring at me since Christmas, and I'm just so incredibly excited to see what books these are because I have no idea. I haven't peeked at all, which is very unlike me. I'm not really sure which one I want to start out with, but I'll go ahead and show you all three of them really quick. So we have a young adult mystery thriller, and she did the bow and everything. Is this not the cutest thing you've ever seen? Just the thought that would go into something like this. If you ever want to get a gift for a bookish person, immediately this. So thoughtful, literally. And the fact that she gave it to me with like the thought in mind for me to do a video for it, literally so sweet. I love you, Brooke. Then we have an adult romance, and then a young adult fantasy, and then she wrote little descriptions on the bottom too. I don't know which one to start out with. I don't want to start out with the romance because I've been reading a lot of romances lately because it is February, and I don't really want to read the fantasy yet either. I think I'm gonna go with the mystery thriller just because I need something super fast-paced and fun. I'm looking really sad though to take it apart. I feel like this will be perfect too because I'm feeling a little slumpy right now, and I feel like a fast-paced mystery thriller will really take me out of the slump. Okay, let's go ahead and open it. I'm keeping this ribbon, FYI. Oh my gosh. Okay. This is so funny because I was literally just about to buy this. Okay, funnily enough, I have never read this series. I've never read anything by this author because I'm starting to get more into my mystery thriller era. Starting is very loosely used because I get scared very easily. If you've ever watched a reading vlog with me where I've read a mystery thriller, which I've only ever read 2 and they've both been YA, I still got scared from those. So this year my goal is to expand my genres a little bit, and specifically I wanted to read more young adult mystery thrillers. So the first book is A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. This is so OG book talk, so famous, so popular, and I cannot believe I haven't read it yet. And I'm really excited that it was this one because I've just heard nothing but great things about the series. So fast-paced and just so good, especially for a YA mystery thriller. I am so excited. I was not expecting this at all. I honestly don't really know what I was expecting. I was almost expecting her to get me books that I don't know anything about. Like she just went to Barnes & Noble and she just read the backs of books and like picked them out, which would have been totally fine too. But the fact that it's this one and I've been wanting to read this for a while, now I'm so excited. I also feel like this is definitely going to take me out of my slump. How many pages is it? Okay, it's about 387 pages, but the font is really big. I feel like I could binge this. Maybe not in one day, but maybe 2. I'm so excited. Let's go ahead and get into reading it, and then I'll update you guys whenever I know a little bit more about the storyline. Well overdue for an update on A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. I just realized I haven't even told you guys the synopsis, and I am literally 249 out of like 380 pages in. Yeah, so I have like a third left. I don't know if you guys can tell. I am zipping through this. I think I started it 2 days ago and I read like 20 or 30 pages, and then the same thing kind of happened yesterday, and then today I have just straight up been binging it. This book is about a girl named Pippa, and for her senior project they have to kind of do something, I guess, big that they're interested in. So she chose to reopen a cold case that was in her town that was also a disappearing case that really truly never got solved. Also, sorry if you can hear things. Luke is also cooking in the kitchen. So it's about this girl named Andy Bell, and they all thought that she got killed by this guy named Sal Singh. But Pippa never believed that. She always thought that there was something else to be uncovered about this disappearance slash murder. So she is like full on investigating it and going either further in than she really should be. She's kind of putting herself in a little bit of danger too. So this entire book is just basically her trying to solve the murder and trying to prove Sal Singh innocent because she really doesn't think that he did it. I've been kind of feeling slumpy lately though, so take this with a grain of salt, but the
The first part was really slow for me, slower than I was wanting anyways from like a fast-paced YA mystery thriller. But once I got to the second part, I just kept reading. Like everything just got a lot more interesting to me. I think I'm finally getting a connection to the characters too a little bit now. I was kind of worried about that too because I really wasn't wanting to read this book, but now I am. And since I am feeling a little bit slumpy, I'm glad I'm reading something that is a little bit faster paced as you kind of get going. And the chapters are so short, which I absolutely love. And there's so many like cool elements in the book too. Like she does like journal entries as if you're kind of reading her project. And then there's also just like random stuff like this of like evidence and stuff, which is so cool. So I'm really enjoying that. She keeps updating you on suspects, and because she does journal entries, you get first person from the journal entries, and then you also get third person for like all of the chapters, because the journal entries and like extra special kind of stuff is just like add-ons. And she has other stats in here too. She's had a map, and she does tons of interviews with people just to kind of like, I don't know, obviously whenever you're a detective you have to do interviews to kind of figure out what's going on and get to the bottom of a case. And it's just been really interesting to how people have been reacting to her. And there's another part where she's just putting herself in so much danger. It's just so wild. And now that I'm thinking about it, how I mentioned the POVs a second ago, maybe the reason why I really wasn't getting into it is because it was in third person. But then the more I was reading and the more journal entries I read, the more I was getting into it. That could also be it, because I feel like sometimes during third person writing I feel a little bit of a disconnect to the characters. So I'm glad I am enjoying it, especially just because I have wanted to read this for a really long time. Last year during Bookmas, whenever I was talking about my 2024 TBR, I specifically stated that I wanted to get into more YA mystery thrillers, and this was one of the series that I really wanted to get into. And I'm so glad that Brooke picked this book, because I don't know how long it would have taken for me to actually pick this up and read it. And I don't know, I'm really enjoying it. And it also doesn't feel too YA. There's not a lot of cringy moments in here or anything like that, but I do have to say the hint of romance that we get, I love it. It's so cute, so wholesome, very, I don't know, it just adds a little bit of lightness to this book, which like you kind of need, just because it is talking about very dark things. Oh, also, I'm using a little ribbon as my bookmark. Is that not the cutest thing ever? I need to start doing this more. Realistically, I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish it tonight, but I'm going to try, and if not, I will be updating you guys tomorrow with my final thoughts, because I'm just enjoying it so much. On FaceTime with Brooke, and we're just kind of like reading together, and I've reached page 339 of A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I don't really know how to feel right now, because who I thought it was going to be, like, I seriously, like, bottom of my list, and honestly, like, it kind of gives me the ick. And it reminds me of She's Gone by David Bell that I read, oh, there's a train. I read that a while ago, and I did not like that book. So now I'm just worried. I'm just so scared for our main character, Pippa. I'm not gonna lie. Brooke, I'm so nervous.
Not Pippa. I didn't even know it was for...
Yeah. Well, they call her Pip. It's very cute. But I'm just so nervous for her. And like, I don't know. This just doesn't make any sense to me. I have like 40 pages left, but I'm just like so, I don't know. It's just weird. Yeah, I honestly, like, I hope it's not this person and it's like an even bigger twist, because if this is the twist, I am gonna be like a little disappointed. I don't know. I just, whenever this happens in the book that I read, whenever this is the plot twist and like this certain character is the person, I guess, or a person like this person, it just like totally gives me the ick. And like, I don't know. Because I feel like this cannot be the plot twist. Like, it has to be more shocking, you know? Like, I guess we'll have to wait and see. So maybe I'll just keep reading. No, this just feels so wrong. I'm like scared. Why is she doing this? Why? Literally why? This is so stupid. No, like, I don't understand why she's doing this. No. Ooh. No. Brooke, this is so icky. Icky. This is an ick fest, Brooke. What? This makes no sense. What? Oh I just finished A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. I am kind of shook. I know in the last clip I was just kind of like, well, shook, and also I kept saying ick, and it honestly didn't turn out exactly how I thought it was going to, which I enjoyed. The plot twist was good, and I don't read a lot of thrillers or like mysteries or anything like that, but this book makes me want to read even more, and I definitely think I want to continue the series. And as I kept on reading and reading and reading, I know earlier I said I wasn't really sure if I was like relating the characters or liking them a lot, but I definitely like them, and I'm really excited to continue the series. This was really good. Okay, I actually have Brooke on FaceTime right now too. Say hi.
Oh, hello.
And she wants to see my reaction to me opening up the next one. So this one that she did up all cute and nice is an adult romance, and it says enemies to lovers and second chance. Do you want me to like guess? Like, do you have any clues or anything you want to give me, or do you want me to just open it?
The book has like some like little like Marvel stuff in it.
Marvel.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
It's not like an action like book. Yeah, so it's like Marvel references.
Interesting. I don't really think there's anything off the top of my head, so I think I'm just gonna open it because I have no idea. Okay, I'm gonna open it. I'm so nervous.
I'm nervous as well.
I wonder if I've ever seen this.
I don't know.
Oh, the back is pretty. Just my type. I've never seen this. This is so cute. I'm so excited. Just My Type by Fallon Ballard is gonna be our next read.
Yeah.
Yay! Ooh, it's giving second chance. Okay, I'm so excited.
Enemies to lovers or like rivalry to lovers type of vibe.
Oh, like rival? Okay, interesting. The cover is so cute. I'm so excited. Chapter I was on, currently about to start chapter 11 on page 120, and I have read like 70-ish pages today. I read about 50 pages yesterday, and I'm hoping to get a good deal done with this today, and I'm like really enjoying this so far, which I just like wasn't expecting at all. I've never heard anything about this book, never heard anything about this author. Just a reminder, it is called Just My Type by Fallon Ballard, and the cover is actually pretty cute. I'm not a big fan of cartoon covers, but I think some of them are really cute, and this one is definitely one of them. It's basically about this girl named Lana, and she's a journalist working in kind of a field that she doesn't really want to be working in her journalism career, and she's been doing that for a long time, kind of trying to get her big break. Think like Andy and Ben and How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. This is kind of what that's reminding me of a little bit, and it's actually mentioned in the book, so I think that's where some of the inspiration came from. But she has been waiting for her big break, so her boss kind of like gives her said big break, and it's basically a competition between her and another journalist, and the other journalist is her high school ex-boyfriend. So that's kind of wild. His name is Seth, and they both made each other lists of things that they have to do, and then they have to do one thing off that list each week for 10 weeks, and then the readers of the columns that they write are gonna decide who wins, and whoever wins gets like the journalism spot that they're both kind of rivaling for. So this is rivals to lovers, I assume anyways. Also second chance, also childhood best friends, because they were best friends, and I'm just like really enjoying it. I feel like lately I keep saying that the beginning of books are slow, and some of them genuinely are, especially compared to like what you get at the end a lot of the times, but I think that I just need to start sitting down whenever I start a book and reading at least 50 to 100 pages immediately, so that I don't get slumped out, because I think that's the problem, is that especially if it's not a series I've been reading, it's just a standalone, I don't get as in the book because I'm just not connected to the story or the characters yet. And so I'm really glad that I've read quite a bit of pages in the amount of time that I've been reading this book, or like since starting it at least, because I definitely am enjoying the story a lot, because during the beginning you just have to wait until it sets up the story. And am I impatient? Of course, but I'm really liking it. I like the fact that to do these
things to get outside of their comfort zones, and it's very interesting, their dynamic. You can tell that they both still care about each other a lot. You also only get Lana's perspective in this book, and it is first person, which is great. And I'm also really enjoying the banter in here. I think that it's very fun and kind of like flirty. There's a lot of friends in this book too, and I don't know, I think it's adding more of a fun element, and I like the journalism element as well. And I also like that we have a very strong plot line. I feel like a lot of the romance books specifically that I've been reading lately have been very character based, which is fine, and I still love a character based book, but sometimes I just need a plot driven book, and I like it whenever the plot is really like bringing them along, especially since I'm still at the beginning and not like incredibly connected to the characters. I do like the main character though, Lana. She also really likes to read, and she's very into Marvel and Star Wars and just kind of like nerdy little things, and her dream is to have a blog about those things, but she's just afraid that people won't ever read it. I don't know, I can kind of relate to that obviously because I have my own like booktube channel, so it's kind of like similar-esque. And I don't know, the Marvel references that she says are kind of funny and cute, and I'm enjoying them just because I really like Marvel too. And her inner dialogue is also just really funny. Like, that's kind of how I talk to myself sometimes, and it's super fast-paced. The chapters are a little bit long, especially at the beginning, but I'm honestly not really minding that. I'm really enjoying the storyline, so I feel like sometimes when I'm enjoying the storyline, I don't want to or feel the need to put it down after every single chapter like I do sometimes. I'm trying to get out of the habit of that sometimes. I don't know why. I'm just like, oh, chapter done. I'm not gonna read for hours. So this book definitely has bingeable qualities, and I don't know, I'm just really enjoying it, and I hope that I'm just gonna keep on enjoying it. Sweatshirt and a blanket on now. It is literally freezing in my apartment for no good reason, but I like it though because it makes me feel a little bit cozier while I'm reading this. And I have just been binging this all day to the point where I only have like 40 pages left, and I haven't even updated you guys for the second time. Number one, since I'm binging it, it's obviously very easy writing. I'm just grasping it very easily, understanding it very easily. It's super easy to connect to the characters and want things for them and feel invested in the story. When you find a good book, you know, because you can fully imagine what's going on in the book world and you feel so immersed in the story, and that's what this author is doing. Fallon Ballard, I definitely want to read more of her books now just because she paints such like a beautiful picture. I feel so invested in these characters right now. I'm just really enjoying it. I love our main character, Lana. I find myself relating to her so much with just so many different things that she's going through, and Seth is like the perfect book boyfriend. Like, I'm just low-key pining after it myself. Like, he's kind of everything, and them together just makes so much sense, and their story kind of makes sense. Well, not kind of makes sense, it does make sense. And them together, the tension has been so good. I will say there was one thing in this book that kind of bothered me with like the pacing of their story that kind of derailed the tension a little bit for me, because it just didn't really make sense for that to happen. Like, I feel like she could have just cut out that part and it would have made the book more enticing, I guess, even though I'm enjoying it so much, and I'm obviously binging it and I'm enjoying it a lot, loving the characters, all that kind of stuff. But that one part, it just kind of bothered me because it kind of diffused a lot of the tension that they were having, and there was so much build up because they're going on these like little activities together for their job assignment, and when that thing happened, it just like diffused some of the tension for me. It just kind of bothered me. Okay, sorry if the angle's a little bit different. I had to change my camera battery, but like I was saying, if that one situation didn't happen, like low-key, this was kind of giving me upper 4-star, 5-star feels. I was just loving it. For some reason, this book low-key kind of reminds me of a mixture between Beach Read and Happy Place, because during Beach Read, January and Gus are like going on these little activity adventure type things for their job, and they have to do all those things together to like study to swap their genres of books. And then in Happy Place, Harry and Wen, that's a second chance romance, and the way that their pining goes and all of that kind of stuff, and they do so much stuff together. I don't know. Those are two of my favorite books, and I just love them so much. And this book just, I don't know. I don't know if it's the second chance trope. I don't know if it's the writing. I don't know, but this book has so much of what I love in a book
in it. Sadly, I know it's not a 5-star because of that thing that kind of happened, which you'll get if you read it. I don't want to like obviously give it away, but I really am enjoying it. And like I said, I just want to read more of Fallon Ballard's writing now. And I honestly was not expecting you to feel this way about a romance, just because, not that I'm not in a romance mood, but I have read several romances lately and I've been really itching to pick up a fantasy, which is actually going to be our next book, which I'm so excited about. But because of that, I wasn't expecting to enjoy the romance so much. And I've been feeling kind of slumpy lately. I don't know, I've been talking about this in a lot of my videos. I don't know if the past 2 books have like pulled me out of it or something, but I don't know, I'm really enjoying this. I'm gonna go ahead and finish it up really quick and then we'll talk about it. Book was so good. It was so cute. I don't know, this book just made me feel so much for the characters. I haven't had a book do that in a very long time. Like I already said, it's not a 5-star. Like it didn't give me the 5-star feelings, but it made me really great feelings. And I just really enjoyed it. There were a few weird like little plot things, not plot holes, but just things that were almost unnecessary or just didn't really fit in the story. But I really liked the writing. It just made it so bingeable, so effortlessly enticing. And I loved Lana and Seth. They are so cute, and their little love story, their like little shticks and things that they have are just so cute. I love this book so much. It was so cute. Notice I say loved and not liked. It's really good. Definitely above a 4-star. Okay, that means that it is officially time for our last book, which is a young adult fantasy, and it is Enemies to Lovers. Take a moment for the packaging. So cute. I am so excited, and let me just say before I open this, I have been having so much fun with this video, and I definitely want to do this again. So if you guys know any like small businesses or anything like that who do these, let me know, because I would love to, 1, support a small business, and 2, I would just love to do this again because it's such a fun, cute little surprise. And I've enjoyed both of the books that I've read so far so much. So hopefully the third one's gonna be good too. I honestly have 0 guesses for this, so let's just go on into it. I'm so excited. Wait. Okay, this is actually so funny. I was not expecting this. I was not expecting this at all. This is The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. The one thing that Brooke did say the other night whenever we were talking about the books and stuff like that, and I was asking her questions about the fantasy, because as we all know, I am not good at surprises. I was like, oh, like how many pages is it? Like, do you think I'll like it? Like all these sorts of things. And she was like, I'm not really sure, because it's kind of like half and half. Some people absolutely love it and some people just like don't like it at all. So I am very excited. I think this is a 3-book series. Ooh, it's floppy. I like it. And it's funny too, because like with A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, these are 2 books and 2 series in general. I just never really thought I was gonna get around to reading, just because there's so many like newer books coming out and stuff like that. So if I was going to read those, they'd just be pushed to the back burner. And I'm low-key so glad that she put both of those books in here, because again, I just don't think I ever would have read them if they weren't in the video. I also don't know why I'm pointing over there. Honestly, know nothing about this one, but I know that it has like the fun fairy tale-y fantasy feelings, I guess. I think, at least. I know Haley Pham absolutely loves this series. She also loves the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy, which, as you guys know, are some of my favorite books as well. I absolutely adore this series. Probably gonna reread it sometime soon, and it's so good. And she described, because she read this series first, she described the feelings from this book being the same one she got from these books. So I'm very interested to see what I think. I'm really nervous too. Oh, look at the chapter. Oh my god, that's so cute. I don't know. I just really don't know what I'm gonna think of it. I honestly don't know anything about it. Let's read the back. Jude was 7 when her parents were murdered, and she and her 2 sisters were stolen away to live in the treacherous high court of fairies. So it is fae. Love that for me. 10 years later, Jude wants nothing more than to belong there, but many of the fae despise humans, especially Prince Carden, the youngest and the wickedest son of the High King. To win a place at the court, Jude must defy him and face the consequences. From the #1 New York Times bestseller, author Holly Black, comes the first book in a stunning trilogy filled with twists and enchantment as one girl learns the meaning of true power. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Especially because, like I was saying earlier, I am just in such a fantasy mood right now. So hopefully this is gonna be perfect for that. Let's go ahead and start it. So I just finished the prologue and I was like, okay, wow, like this, I'm into it. It was almost like a little short story in itself. Like, it was very interesting and intriguing, and like I'm excited to read on. Chapter 1. In Fairy, there are no fish sticks, no ketchup, no television. That is chapter 1. So, literally just a single sentence. And for what? I'm just gonna pretend like that chapter didn't exist and move on. Also, is this not the cutest ever? Like the chapter title things? I love that. I think we are long overdue for an update on The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. I don't even think that I've explained what this is about. Basically about 3 girls who are all sisters, and they get taken from the mortal realm to the fairy worlds whenever they're really young. So they've grown up there for years and years. I'm sorry, I don't know what my neighbors are doing upstairs right now. They are loud. We're just gonna work through it. Okay. But since they get taken whenever they're really young, they don't really know anything like different. Like, they kind of grew up there. And there's not really a lot of mortals there that aren't like servants or like workers or whatever. It's very rare to have mortals in the fairy realm, so they're just like normal people, and they have to do like things to kind of like fit in, I guess. They're kind of treated as they are a fae even though they're not, and they're kind of like bullied because of that. Specifically, our main character Jude, and everything is in her point of view, and this is a YA fantasy, and a lot of people do think that there's a lot less romance than they're expecting, but I read a few like reviews and stuff like that on TikTok before I did it, and most of the time I do that with fantasy just because I don't want to like get into something expecting one thing when it's another. And this is more of just a political fantasy with a subplot of romance, and it's kind of a bully romance, which I've never read and I don't want to ever read, so I don't really know how I feel about this. A lot of people say it's enemies to lovers, but low-key, like, she's getting bullied. Like, it is bad. And it's not just like, oh, like, it's fantasy, like, it's intense, like, knife to the throat, you know, I mean, quirky stuff. No, like, she's just straight up getting bullied. And it's just kind of icky and, like, weird. I will also say that this book has been going places that I just really thought it wasn't going to go. I don't know, to me, it just kind of feels right now, anyways, that the plot is kind of like all over the place. Like, I feel like we're finally getting to a good part because I am about like halfway through. I wanted to wait until like I really had an opinion to share with you guys on it, because up until this point I just like really wasn't sure what I thought, and it just kind of feels like messy and like just I don't know, like all over the place is the best way to explain it. Because at first I thought this thing was gonna happen and then it didn't, and then I was like, okay, like there's just like no explanation on that. And I love it whenever authors don't go into too much detail about things that they don't need to go into too much detail about. Like, there's been specific times where like she's been training and stuff like that, they go through one day and then she's like, and then I repeat that day over and over and over again. I'm like, okay, thank you. I didn't need the details of you repeating the same day over and over and over again. Like, I don't like that. So I do like that that part is condensed, but I feel like the balance is off. Like, there are some things that she should write more about because it just seems like kind of rushed. Like, it was this huge plot point that we talked about, and then it was like wrapped up in like not even a chapter. Like, it was just like a little section of a chapter, a few pages. So that's been like a little confusing to me. I don't really know. And the bully romance thing too, I just I don't know. I just don't know if I can get over that. And I just really like haven't been wanting to read, which is not a good sign. I don't know. I think that the plot itself for what it is interesting. I think it's getting where it needs to go. I don't know if a lot of the other things that happened that I was saying that was like kind of confusing and all over the place were even necessary. This book is just really confusing me, and it makes me so sad because I just don't want to read it, I don't think. Watch me be like in the next clip whenever I'm talking about it, I'm like, I love this book. I probably will be, knowing me, because I don't know. Sometimes I just get so impatient whenever I'm reading that I just like wanna, like, I just wanna get to the end. You know what I'm saying? I just really think that we took way too long to get to the main plot. Like, I don't even know if this is the main plot of the book. And I've heard people say, like, just like they do with every series, that the first book isn't as good. So I don't know. I don't even know if I'm gonna want to read the second and third. Obviously, I haven't finished it yet, so maybe I should do that first. Probably, maybe, you know. I don't know. I just want to be done with this. Let's just read and go through it, and then I can share more thoughts, because obviously right now all my thoughts are the same. Okay guys, I have 60 pages left of The Cruel Prince, and honestly, it's gotten a little bit better since the last time I kind of checked in with you guys. Pacing is honestly like a little confusing, and where plot points come into are kind of just like, they're just like dropped because they need to be dropped. It doesn't really feel like they are reveals. It just doesn't feel right. Whenever we figure out something about the plot that's like a twist or a big thing, I feel like the information just comes too easily, especially where some of the information is coming from. Like I don't know. I know I already mentioned this, but the Once Upon a Broken Heart series does this very well, where it's almost like a fantasy fairy tale mystery. And there's just so many plot twists in it and like things that keep you guessing the entire time, and the story just changes so much. And I think that's what Holly Black was trying to do in this book, but it's just like not doing it for me. Also, we just really haven't gotten a lot of romance at all. So if you're going into these books thinking that there's a lot of romance, you're gonna be wrong. I don't know how to feel about this one yet. Let's go ahead and finish it up, and then I'll give you guys my final thoughts. Guys, I just don't know what to think about this book. Okay, I just finished The Cruel Prince by Holly Black, and as you can tell, I've had very conflicting feelings on this book, and honestly, I kind of still do. I think the ending was great. I think it left it very open-ended to kind of see what happens and see where it goes. But the biggest thing is that it just took too long for it to kind of take off, and I just really don't feel any connection to the characters. Especially in a fantasy, I just feel like since everything's more high stakes, my connection to the characters normally grows even more than a romance. I might continue the series. I'm not entirely sure. I know there's 2 more and then there's a novella at the end, but I'm honestly not really sure just because of my feelings on this one. But at the same time, with series, and especially with fantasy series, because there's a lot of world building and stuff in the first book, it takes a lot of time and you have to get to know the characters and all of that kind of stuff. But it just does kind of make me worried by the fact that I don't really feel connected to the main character Jude at all. I do still have very conflicting feelings on this just because I felt so many different emotions and feelings towards this book. But let me know if you think I should continue this series or not. Okay, that was the last book of the reading vlog. Let's go ahead and get into the reading wrap up for this video and my ratings. The first book we read was A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, which is the first in a trilogy. This series is by Holly Jackson, and I really enjoyed this book. I enjoyed Pip and Ravi. I enjoyed the storyline. I thought it was really interesting. It took a little bit for me to get into it, but once I did, it was just so enthralling, intriguing, and I just got so into it that I ended up binging half the book in like a day. And the crumbs of romance that we get in here are so cute and good. I think I'm gonna rate this one 4 stars, and I'm excited to continue the rest of the series. I actually already bought the rest of the series, so that's pretty exciting too. The second book we read in this video was Just My Type by Fallon Ballard. This book was so cute. Lana and Seth are literally meant for each other. I felt so connected to them as characters, so connected to their relationship, so into the story. I felt like I could truly be in the story, and I could like imagine it while it was going on, which is my favorite. Whenever it doesn't even feel like you're reading, it almost just is like you're watching a movie in your head, and that is exactly how I know whenever the writing is good. It was funny, it was fun, it was flirty, it was just the perfect rom-com, and I definitely want to read more of Fallon Ballard's writing. I think I'm gonna go ahead and give this a 4.5. Either that or a 4.25, I'm not really sure yet, but I just really enjoyed these characters and it was so cute, and I definitely want to read more books from this author. And then finally, The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. This is the first one in a trilogy. We just talked a lot about this book. You guys know that I have very conflicting feelings towards it. I think that I'm gonna end up rating this a 3 or a 3.5, anywhere from around there. The hard part is when I have conflicting feelings about a book, it doesn't specifically fit in a certain category, because there are parts about this book that I really enjoyed, but there were also parts about this book that I just like didn't really understand, or wish they would have done something different, or just wasn't really into myself. I just don't know if this series is for me or if this book series is for me, but it's definitely a 3 or a 3.5, around that range. Okay, those are all the books that I read in this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to like and subscribe if you did. read. And comment down below if you guys have any thoughts on these books or any books you want me to read, any video ideas, anything like that. Leave it in the comments down below. I love chatting with you guys. Don't forget to follow me on my socials. We've got TikTok, Instagram, and Goodreads. I do upload a lot of updates on those of more of like my daily life, especially my Goodreads on all the books that I'm reading. So if you're interested in that, follow me on there. And I think that's it. I hope you guys are all having a wonderful day, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.
Okay, yeah, I saw
The video?
yeah, the video.
So funny.
Time to review.
You know we're in. I'm so sick of running as fast as I can.